Hello, and welcome once again to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. If you've been following this channel, you know we don't just chase stories, we explore them. We try to understand the people behind the headlines, the emotions behind the moments. And today's story is a perfect example of why that matters. We're going to talk about Yagmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş, two actors whose names have recently become synonymous with tension, chemistry, and quiet speculation. At the heart of it all is a show, Kentsesekleri, or Blood Flowers. A drama that has captured the hearts of millions, not just for its gripping storylines, but for something much more elusive, the authenticity between its leading performers. Let's be clear, not every show leaves this kind of impression. There are dramas with great writing. Others with stunning visuals. But Kentsesekleri has something special. An energy that feels alive in every scene that Yagmur and Barış share. From the very beginning, their dynamic was electric. The way they navigated silence, eye contact, emotional pacing, it felt less like performance and more like presence. And fans noticed. In every episode, the chemistry simmered just beneath the surface. Even in their character conflicts, there was a pull. A subtle magnetism that never quite disappeared. And then, something happened. The images leaked. They weren't part of the show. They weren't professional photo shoots or promotional content. They were offset, behind the scenes. Two people talking. Smiling. Sitting just a little too close. Laughing in a way that didn't feel rehearsed. The response was immediate. Social media lit up. Fan accounts posted theories, screenshots, comparisons. Was it just two co-stars between takes? Or was it something else? Something personal? Neither Barış nor Yagmur offered clarification. And in their silence, the story grew. Because here's what we need to understand. People are drawn to authenticity. And when what we see on screen mirrors what might be happening behind it, we don't just watch. We feel. We invest emotionally. We want to believe that the connection is real, that it continues when the director calls cut. Now let's look at how they've handled the attention. Yagmur has remained calm, composed, and characteristically private. In her interviews, she's always gracious, focusing on the craft, the team, the importance of storytelling. But there's a warmth in her tone whenever Barış's name comes up. A quiet fondness. She doesn't overshare, but she doesn't deflect either. Barış, similarly, has stayed grounded. He speaks of Yagmur with respect. Talks about how easy it is to work with her. How scenes flow more naturally. And most tellingly, when asked if their chemistry is real, he smiled and said, "That's for the audience to decide." Cryptic? Maybe. Or maybe, honest. Because maybe even they aren't entirely sure where the acting ends and something more begins. And isn't that the most human part of all this? Working together, spending hours in emotionally intense scenes, relying on one another for timing, trust, connection, can blur lines. It's not just about attraction. It's about comfort. Rhythm. Safety. And when those things exist on set, it's only natural that they spill over into real life. That conversations linger longer. That laughter feels more meaningful. That presence starts to matter even after the camera stops rolling. We've seen this before in the industry, relationships that begin in scripts and become real. But with Yagmur and Barış, what stands out isn't just the chemistry, it's the respect. The mutual admiration. The way they seem to protect each other's space. That's rare. Now, let's talk about the fans. If you scroll through the comments on any post involving either of them, you'll see the same pattern, emotional investment. People don't just like them, they root for them. They write essays in the captions. They make edits with slow music and soft filters. They imagine scenes that haven't been written yet. And above all, they hope. Not because they're desperate for romance, but because they believe in what's already been shown. They've seen honesty on screen. Vulnerability. They've felt it through a look, a pause, a whisper. And that kind of connection? It stays with you. What's interesting, too, is how this real-life speculation has impacted the show itself. Viewership is up. Engagement is stronger. People rewatch old episodes looking for clues, trying to figure out if what they see is acting, or something else entirely. Producers haven't commented. Neither has the network. But make no mistake, this dynamic is driving attention. And not just from fans, from casting directors, from media outlets, from fellow actors. Everyone is watching. And so we arrive at a familiar question: what now? Will they go public? Will they address the rumors? Will they star in another project together after Kinsasekleri ends? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe the beauty of their story is that it doesn't need to be defined. Maybe they're just two people who met in the right place, at the right time, and found something worth holding on to, quietly, privately, and without explanation. Because sometimes the strongest bonds don't scream. They whisper. So here's what we know for sure. Yagmur Yüksel and Barış Baktas have created something special, something that feels genuine. Whether it's friendship, respect, or the early stages of something deeper, it's theirs. And they're choosing to protect it, even as the world watches. And that's powerful. Thank you for joining me for this story. If you've ever been moved by a performance that felt too real to be fake, or if you've ever seen two people and just knew something meaningful was happening, this one's for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is really happening between them? Or maybe the better question is, does it even matter if the connection is real? Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and never underestimate the power of quiet chemistry. Take care, and goodbye for now.